Hey you guys, welcome back for this week's video. This week, if you follow me on Instagram stories, you saw that I had gotten some fun purchases in the mail, and that is one of the things that we are doing today. So I have the LORAC Mega Pro 4 palette, which is a limited edition. They drop one every year. Last year I picked up the Mega Pro 3 palette. I've not had one or two, but this is when I really fell in love with the LORAC eyeshadows. So instead of just doing a standard swatch video of these shadows, they are 32 new colors, all new colors for this palette. So instead of doing a full swatch video, I just decided to go ahead and do 3 different looks using the colors in this palette, including the one that I have on my face right now, which is super dark for me, if you know anything about my typical relationship with eyeshadow. So I'm just going to launch right into those for you guys. Huge disclaimer, if you're new around here, I am not a makeup artist. I just like to play with makeup a lot. So just be aware of that going in. And I've got 3 looks ranging from kind of light and less dramatic to what you see going on right here. So popping right over into those without me gabbering on anymore. Hey you guys, so for the first look that we're going to be trying here, I'm going to be starting first with a little bit of concealer on the eyelids. I'm just going to go in with the Maybelline Master Conceal Camouflage Concealer? Yeah, camouflaging concealer, and tap that bad boy in on the eyelids. Next, I'm going to go in with a super light shade to get the crease going. I'm going to be using the shade from the palette called Butterscotch. I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm just going to start in a back and forth sweeping motion through the crease. If you don't have deep set eyes like I do, you can go in the crease proper. I go up onto the bone here a little bit to sort of fake a crease. Otherwise, it disappears into my eye and you don't really see that much of it. So, starting up here. And one tip that I have, and again, not a makeup artist, but instead of going in an arch like this, I kind of try to take it straight out to the side, not like out and up, but just kind of more out towards the tail of my eyebrow, because if I start going down, what ends up happening when I add the darker colors is I get this really like droopy low eye over here, which kind of defeats the lifting purpose. So I kind of, like I said, just try to go straight out. And then using that same brush, I'm going to go into the color Plum, because I kind of want to keep this more on the cool side if I can. That's a lie. I see other warm colors I want to use. So we're just going to play this and see what happens. We're going to use that same brush. We're going to go in with Plum, kind of overlapping and just below where I put that first shade Butterscotch. And I'm going to be going in the same general motions, but I'm also going to kind of create that V now. So we took Butterscotch out to here, you can see, and so I'm kind of going to drag Plum into a V, so it comes down onto the lid a little bit. So now I've got that color creating a larger look for the eye. And the look gets more dramatic the further out and up you take the color. So for those of you with nice big eyelids, power to you. Next we're going to go in on the lid itself, and you guys, I really am struggling here. I'm not sure if I want to go like purplish or copper with this. Vote. Can we take a vote? We're going to try purple and see what happens. I'm going to go in with the shade Lotus, and I'm just going to use a different brush this time. This is a flat packing brush. This one is a Morphe I No Longer Know. It's been rubbed off. It's just a flat brush, a small brush that's going to allow you the control of placement of the shadow on the eyelid. And this one I'm just tapping onto the lid, not going any higher than that. And then once you're satisfied with how that is looking, you're going to want to take a very precise brush. I'm going to be using this one that just has this nice sharp angle, which I think is actually intended for eyeliner, but we're going to kind of use it in that way. And I'm going to go in with this color, a Blackberry, because I'm super curious what color it's supposed to be. And we're kind of going to line the eyelid with it. So very gently, just going to kind of go in with it like a powder eyeliner down along the lash line. Go in tiny tap and drag movements. If you just kind of sweep it all the way across at once, your skin on the eyelid might fold and kind of cause it to show drag marks, and it can just be kind of a hot mess. So just take your time. So that is on, and I kind of want to give this a little bit of a pow because I'm kind of bored with it right now. So actually, before we do that, before I finish with the lid, I want to go down to the underside of the eye now, and I'm going to be using one of these little guys here, these stubby little brushes, which are great for getting just right up underneath that lower lash line. And I'm going to go in with the same sequence of colors, the butterscotch followed by the plum and lotus, and gradually build up that part. Okay, now that we've added to the under eye, I kind of want to go in with a nice pop up along the brow bone and in the inner corners. So I'm going to start with this sort of off-white color, Pink Peony, and I'm just going to tap a gently rounded brush with that and pick the hair off the end of that. And use kind of a nice matte highlight up here. And then what I like to do up on the lids is take a large tapered fluffy brush that just doesn't have any other shadows on it and just sweep it all together in a big blend. There and there. And now just for a little bit of extra va-va-voom, I like to add a glittery highlight into the corner. So I'm going to be taking the color Foam and dipping that in, and I'm going to really try to brighten up this area here. And just dust whatever's left of that foam here on the outside. Voila! And I'm going to curl my lashes, throw on some mascara, and finish the rest of the face so it all kind of matches, and we'll look at the finished product. Hey you guys, for the second look, my skin is already all prepped and ready to go, so I'm just going to zoom you in and we're going to go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to be going in with the color Butterscotch on our tapered brush and just dropping that into the crease here as our transition shade. And then I'm going to go in with the color Mocha and start with very little on the brush because this might be a little bit darker than I'm anticipating. And I'm going to go right over top, very softly, very light hand here, staying in the crease and the outer V with the color Mocha. And we can layer that color a little bit, just taking a little bit more on the brush and going back over top of it. You just don't want to go in too dark too fast and find yourself in a situation where you're not going to be able to blend it out. So take that color as dark or as light as you want to. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there. And then I'm going to go in on my lid with the color Copper Pearl with that flat sort of packing shaped brush. Now we're going to go in with that really narrow sort of eyeliner brush, and I'm actually going to use this reddish sort of color Spice as my dark color down on the lash line. Before we finish the top lid and blend everything together, I'm going to go in and do that same layering of colors on the lower lash line. So we're going to start with Butterscotch again, and the small sort of, I don't even know what you would call that, a smudging brush, I guess. And now grabbing a tapered pencil brush, I'm going to very lightly again tap into that Mocha just on the very, very tip of the brush and start tracing that as well. And then last but not least, going in with the Copper Pearl to kind of blend over top of all of that. And I guess I shouldn't have said last because I am going to go in with that liner brush again with the color Spice just along the very outside corners along the lash line. Now up on the brow bone and on the inner corners I want to stay matte, so I'm going to take that color Pink Peony and just rub that up here for a little bit of a matte highlight. And then to finish it up, again, we're just going to take that fluffy brush with no product on it, and we're just going to blend those lid colors together. And I'm going to finish up with a little liner and mascara, and we will look at the finished look. Okay, you guys, so for the third look using this palette, I am stepping way outside of the comfort zone because there are so many rich, dark, gorgeous colors in this palette, and I almost never go there, but we're gonna give it a try. This could go horribly, this could be awesome. Let's check it out. So as always, we are going to be starting with a light transition shade. I'm gonna go in with that color Butterscotch one more time on that tapered brush, looks like that, and start creating a crease here. That is the one thing that I do know about dark colors, is you have to start light and gradually build into them. So let's get going on that. Next, I'm going to move in with Mocha in that same light-handed tapered brush, going right over the top of where we just had Butterscotch, and start building a little bit of depth. I'm going to kind of start creating that V on the outer corner, taking that down onto the outer side of the lid. So our next move, I'm going to keep working with the same brush. We're going to start going dark. We're going to get a little bit of color in here. I'm going to go into this blue color Denim, and I'm just going to load the tip of the brush, and I'm going to start going in the same area roughly over top of that Mocha. Because like I said, we're just gently building color. And since we're going for a slightly more dramatic look, I'm going to drag this out farther towards the edge of my brow than I typically would. The good news is it's not turning out that Denim is quite as dark of a color as I thought. So we're going to keep layering. And swooping that down. All right, we are getting darker and darker and darker here. So now I'm going to go in with a tiny little brush. Where are you? So now I'm going to be going in with a very, very small fluffy brush, which works well for my eyes. I'm going to be taking this right in here at the very bottom and outer corner where we just put that Denim, really going to slowly be darkening that up, and I'm going to be going in with this color Vamp. So we're going to give this a go. And this is where we're really going to start seeing more of that shape. Dragging that color into the inner corner. Kind of vamping out a little bit. Haha, I said vamping, and that's the color of the shadow. So I'm concerned that this is starting to get a little bit too gray. It's staying all like too much in the same color family. So I want to go in with a brighter shock of color. So I'm going to dab my flat packing brush here into this color Fairy Tale, and we're going to give that a go, packing him all over the lid to try to brighten this up and keep it from looking like a big bruise. Since this is actually a pretty sparkly shade, if it's not packing on with a brush the way you want it to, just go in with your finger and dab a little bit on the lid with your finger. I find that it's less likely to over blend and then turn into just like nothingness when you could do it that way, so that's what we're going to do for that. And then we are going to, just on the very outer bit of the eye here, we're going to go in with this super dark blue Peacock, which I'm not even sure if it's going to show up as blue. Oh yeah, that's blue. Alright, cool. Let's give that a try. And we're just going to line a little bit of the eye. And then as always, we're going to take that fluffy brush with nothing on it, and we're just going to blend out the top bit here very, very lightly. I don't want it to smudge into nothingness, but I do want it to be a more blended look before I go in with a highlighting color up along the top. So then, because we are kind of just bamfing our eyes out right now, I'm going to go in with this color Foam, which is like a light, it's a light creamy shimmer color. And I'm going to pop that bad boy right up here by the brow. And even though I typically try to avoid the light reflective powders up here for this look, I'm just going to be okay with it. And now we're going to drop down to the bottom, and we're going to take our smaller brushes, get a little bit more precise, and I'm kind of going to do the same process again, same as I did for the first two looks. I'm going to go in and layer the same sequence of colors to kind of make the looks match. So starting again with butterscotch, and then moving into mocha, denim, and onward. So here we go with the butterscotch. Add the mocha to kind of start deepening it up a little. I'm always so afraid of doing shadows on the bottom. I have such small eyes and I feel like it gets out of control so fast. So I'm just gonna kind of blend as I go here. And then I'm gonna go back in with that pencil brush you just saw me blending with, and I'm gonna start in with the denim, start adding a little bit of the color. The denim I am gonna take all the way across. We're gonna get a little bit daring here. I'm gonna bring that deep blue peacock down just a little bit on the outside here. And then I'm going to blend over the whole thing with that fairy tale kind of glittery color. And then I'm going to pop just the tiniest bit of that foam color down here into the inner corner. Well, that wasn't the tiniest bit. Well, we're just going to roll with it. It's not a mistake if you can make it work. Okay, now these are eyes that 100% call for a good liner and mascara. So I'm going to load those bad boys on, and we'll see what this looks like when it's all together. So that's it, that's all three of them. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you have the palette and you give these looks a try, or you have other looks that you like, definitely let me know. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. Make sure you click subscribe to be notified when my next video drops, and I will see you in that one. Bye!